Well, what are we doing?
Going to look at my new car.
Okay. So you gonna tell us about it?
It's a 1995 3000 GT. It's 6-cylinder, all black, and I don't know what else.
So yeah, I got talked into getting another POS.
It's not that bad.
It looks pretty good from here. It needs washed.
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad this morning. It definitely looked way worse at night.
Well, yeah, we were lighting it up with flashlights and it was dirty, and you know, it's 26 years old, which is crazy to me. These are like new in my head because I'm old. Oh, Micah didn't back in. It would have been cool to show the front ends of these.
Micah's parking job is completely crooked.
But it's like all of the cars that I buy, it needs work. So from what I can gather, it needs valve stem seals. It smokes pretty bad at idle at times. And the transmission slips. Previous owner, she thought it was third and fourth gear. It seems like if I turn off overdrive, it is totally fine. So that would be, you know, the fourth gear overdrive, and those clutches are on the outside. And in theory, I can fix that without having to drop the transmission. Not looking forward to doing valve stem seals at all. So, all right, open it up, Maya. You gonna get in there?
Sure.
So we saw this a couple weeks ago, and she's been bugging the crap out of me to get it. So she's been driving the truck, and I have been trying to convince her that the MR2 would be a cool car for her, but she wanted a 3000 GT too. Yeah, not bad.
No, I like it. Just needs a little work on the seats.
Yeah, like all of these, the seat's pretty worn there. So I have some cloth replacement ones that would actually look pretty good. It would match the charcoal interior, but she likes the beige. And the back seats, like almost all 3000s, are perfect because no one goes back there. Passenger seat bit could be cleaned up, but the driver's seat needs recovered or something. All right, pop the hatch.
Ooh. At least I know how to do that because of Micah's.
So previous owner had the custom sub box made, fits right in there. The amp is currently not working, so I got to track that down. It might just be the power wire. And then it needs one exhaust tip, and that's about it. Just cleaned up. So we have, let's see, fixed transmission, valve stem seals. Oh, it needs AC recharged, one exhaust tip. The downpipe is rusted and nasty and leaking, so that needs fixed. Tires rotated, and
New seats.
new seats of some sort. Cool. Oh, and you should get one of those lips like Micah's.
I might. I don't know yet.
I'll make it a bit lower in the front. It shouldn't scrape because this isn't lowered yet.
Is Micah's lower?
Yeah, well, Micah's is not only lowered, but it also has shorter tires because we took those off of the Talon that we had. And so it makes it even lower. Once he wears those out, we'll get the right height.
Yeah. Maybe I will get a lip. It wouldn't look bad because it'd match. Who knows?
Okay. All right, so we got this guy up in the air. or I guess girl. I don't think she's named it yet. And you'll see engine bay, little flakage, but just a standard 6G72 rated at 222 horsepower. It's hard to tell when this was, but they did a timing belt at some point, it looks like, so that's good. I'm going to change the oil, and then I have this wheel off, and if I take this plastic off, it's just a couple of clips and bolts, and then that'll come off, and then I can get to right here is where the end clutch is, and remove that. And although I did buy a whole rebuild kit and soaking the new clutches, I found a couple of spares downstairs that aren't warped and everything. There's seals inside of, once you take all this apart, and you have to, it's kind of difficult to get all these pieces apart. There's different seals and everything in there as well that I think what I'm going to do is just try swapping one of these in instead of those, because although the clutches, you can just replace the clutches really easily, and steels, but there's other things in there that there's little seals and O-rings and whatnot that are a lot harder to get to, and these don't have warped steels or worn clutches, so just an easy swap to put it in. If it doesn't work, I can just always do it again. All right, when you get the covers off, I had to take this one to get to this one, and then this is the end clutch, and then on a this would be the center diff. I don't know what it's called on a front wheel drive car, but on all wheel drive cars you could weld this, and prevents the spider gears from kicking their thrust washers out and running everything. So yeah, then I'll have to break this off, which is hard to do with one hand while videoing, but the end clutch is behind here. This is just there we go. That's with everything off, and hopefully this all works together, although it basically looks right. So I'm going to take this apart and confirm that these discs are all jacked up in there. That's a whole lot of mess that we don't have to deal with, fortunately. So just gonna take this apart and we shall see. This should come out, I believe. Yep. Difficult to do one-handed. Now, let's see if I can get this snap ring out of here. So we can check out these bad boys. Okay. So far not as bad as I thought, but yep, there we go. It's hard to see that is warped, and you can see some heat into it. That is definitely no bueno. Yeah, and this one's definitely worn. You can't, they have like little spots for that are like stripes through here, cuts, and it's worn down past that. And then guaranteed this one is a mess too. Yep. Hi. Fixing your car.
Oh, thanks.
All these are gonna be the same. Yep. Not as bad as I was expecting, but that's the problem. Okay, So what we should be able to do is just take this, pop it in here, put it in there, and magic, it works. Voila, and done. See if it works. I did change that outer O-ring seal. What else? So put the tire back on, gonna change the oil. I think it has leaking valve stem seal, so we're gonna try a little cheat code here. Some seal repair is supposed to soften up all of those hard valve stem seals and stuff like that. Apparently a trick that the BMW guys do on their new motors, apparently the valve stem seals go out pretty fast. So we're gonna try it. Only costs like 20 bucks or something. And then the other trick is to use high mileage oil, because it also has those seal conditioners in it as well. So we will see. I'm not super confident, but it's worth a try, because changing valve stem seals is horrible. No fun. Don't want to do it. Well, while putting this back together, I don't know if you guys can tell here, but she's a little wobbly. It seems to be the tie rod end, so I just need to order tie rod ends and replace that. I'm gonna pull this wheel back off just to confirm, but I was messing around underneath there, and it's definitely bad. I don't know if it's just loose and I can tighten it, but I think the joint itself is bad. So that ought to tighten up the steering a little bit. I don't know if it comes through on video, but it's really bad. There we go. Holy cow. I don't see how I didn't notice that when I was driving it. Well, I did this a second ago. She gone. Well, unfortunately, that did not work. So, still slipping. It actually appears to slip in third as well, which I couldn't tell from before. So, if you're easy on it and don't really beat on it, it seems to work pretty well most of the time. And then sometimes it doesn't. If you take it out of overdrive, then it's fine, unless even if it's out of overdrive and start beating on it, it seems to slip in third, or trying to shift down to second. It's hard to say. So unfortunately, that means transmission needs to come out, at least third gear clutches, and then re-inspect the overdrive ones. So yeah, fun. I was hoping to get by with it pretty easily. Good news is the oil change and that additive, I can't make it smoke, so been trying, revving it up, warm, cold, etc., and seems to be all right. Downpipe still needs to be fixed. There's definitely rusted at the flex section, which was replaced before, but so flex section or new downpipe and get the transmission rebuilt, and should be good to go for her. Otherwise, yeah, drives pretty nice.
What, Papa?